I'm going to take you through the college experience of fall semester, Byron. An absolute homebody, the type of person to go to class and directly back to their dorm, seeking solitude and comfort in his own space. Friends with only a handful of people, all from his floor. Through dissatisfaction in injection with his college experience, he began to recall the message recited daily by his elementary school principal to the intercom speaker. Make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. Hello, my name is Byron Tran. I'm a computer science major, and I'm running to be APSA's next director of finance. As someone who has only been involved starting this semester, in the short 2 months with APSA, I saw the multitude of ways to get involved to be a standout characteristic for the organization. In meeting the people in Velvet Fam, to dancing for the first time with FTS Dance, to spontaneously broadcasting the Valorant tournament out of my dorm room, and so much more, I dove headfirst into activities completely out of my comfort zone and witnessed the breadth of opportunities APSA had to offer. It was in my experience shadowing the director of finance position when I realized how much effort was being poured behind the scenes to maintain such an experience for APSA's community. The funds of the club factor into every aspect of the organization, from the banner that APSA waves in student union before each GDM, to big events like Night Market and the Fashion Talent Show that are held each semester. There's so many elements that are tied to the finances of the club and therefore the directors of finance as well. During my Shadows experience, I successfully scored a fundraiser with Tasty Mir Mesa for APSA's Spring Ice Skating Social, in which I professionally initiated and maintained contact with the franchise owner and the in-store manager to organize the event. Through proper communication with their franchise, Tasty has emphasized that they would be eager to work with APSA for future fundraisers in which we may hold. In the hopes of pushing APSA's potential capabilities to the ceiling and beyond, I will strive to continue this trajectory of creating good relations with businesses, companies, and associate students should I be appointed to the Director of Finance position. Holding a treasurer position in an organization is something I'm familiar with also. In high school, I co-founded and held the treasurer position for a health and nutrition club. In the time I held this position, I saw the club expand from a 12 to 15 person group to a 75 member organization with events to support the local community. Working within high school's procedures, I organized fundraisers to expand the club's parameters. We were able to start providing prizes for team builders at general meetings, organize volunteer events, initiate both physical and virtual food drives in collaboration with the San Diego Food Bank, and more. In the start of the pandemic, I allocated funds for the materials necessary for our club members to create reusable homemade masks for essential workers of my school district. In holding this previous role, I can bring transferable skills and experiences to the Director of Finance position in APSA, which I hope to grow myself and the organization given the opportunity. If appointed to this position, I'll work with diligence and transparency to maximize the output that APSA can provide to its growing community. As I continue to deepen my involvement with this organization, no matter the outcome, my primary goal is to make it easier for others to start choosing to have a great day, just as APSA has done for me. Thank you. Fundraisers that I have going into the next year is not exactly too different from what we've seen in the past. What's really inspired me in recent times is Casa's bingo fundraiser, in which they raised a lot of funds, and I want to implement that to some degree with APSA's board. Just like some incentives to like purchase and make the board members do something. That sounds really fun to me, and I think it could be kind of lucrative and help us out in creating our events.
Okay. You talk to a business for fundraising, and both sides negotiate to have a certain amount of people showing up. If you don't hit the required amount, you get none of the money. How will you handle the situation?
Obviously, if you don't hit the required amount, it's going to be like kind of a downer to begin with. But in order to try to compromise the situation, I would probably relying on communication with that organization to see like if we did a good job in any aspect, to see if we can get some funds back, or if anything, just try to maintain good relations and try to hit the goal next time. But in all, I think trying to compromise first with the organization is ideal, just to see if we can get anything, because it sucks if we put that much effort into something and it just didn't work out, you know?
Right, and historically, including this year, co-finance directors have always worked separately, and it's been a trend for generations, respectively working on fundraisers or AS business individually. Do you have any ideas on how you can make these efforts more collaborative and efficient?
I believe that implementing some sort of reports for both the assistant and the financial director, like the one holding the main position, of course, having some bi-weekly or weekly reports to each other, just to ensure that like they both know what's going on, and if any assistant needs to be assisted with, that happens in the moment and in a timely manner, because if it doesn't happen in a timely manner, then there's no reason to communicate to begin with. It'd be better off to just have each person focus on the delegated tasks that historically have been there.
Alright, and you find out that you miscalculated the budget and overspent on an event heavily. What are your solutions to overcome this, and what resources other than fundraisers would you use for the next events?
Ideally, I believe that setting aside at the beginning of the year like a set amount or like a percentage of the funds that the club has early on, just in case we run into any situations like these, like the emergencies where we need to like spend over budget, in order to just have like a safety net for ourselves first. If this doesn't come through, then I would try to refactor the existing budget to work around this new cost, because maybe we can cut costs like somewhere else in the event, and from there we can move forward and try to make the most of the situation.